Hello friends, I'm Tim Wildsmith, and in this video we're going to be taking a closer look at the latest editions of the KJV Lion from Humble Lamb. Alright, I've heard a lot about the KJV Lion over the last few years, and I've finally gotten my hands on a couple copies of it. And look at these bold colors they sent me, pink and yellow. These are beautifully crafted Bibles in some very bold colors. I like that Humble Lamb is trying some new things with color choices and throwing some options out there that we really haven't seen before in the world of Bibles. I think they've done a great job with these. These are beautiful editions of the King James Bible. They've got a modern look and feel in some senses, but also some really classic touches as well. They have the Fore-edge gilt on them, which I've showed you in the unboxing video if you saw this, with the lion, the KJV Lion on there. Really, really cool. Just really well crafted, well designed. Humble Lamb is a small Bible manufacturer or a small publisher, but they're doing some really cool designs. They've got a KJV, they've got an NKJV, they're coming out with an NASB next, and so I'm really just impressed with what they're doing. And I did an unboxing video with these, had a lot of fun, but I wanted to come back and do a full in-depth review so I could show you these two editions side by side. So they have two different options. They have a paste-down edition and they have an edge-lined edition. I'm going to show you the difference between those so you can make a decision if you're trying to decide if you want to pick one of these up, the difference between the two. I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to kind of run this Bible through and show you all the interior stuff. They're pretty much the same once you get to the inside, but I want to show you everything, kind of do a deep dive. My goal is to help you find a Bible that's right for you, and a lot of times you can't pick one of these up. Like Humble Lamb, you got to order these online. You can't find these in stores to check them out. So I'm doing these videos to help you make an informed decision about what Bible you want to purchase. I think these would make a great gift idea as well. They're just really, really beautiful. So before we dive in, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for me if you haven't already. This is the KJV Lion from Humble Lamb. Okay, let's look at the boxes first. You have a black edition and a white edition. The black is the paste-down edition. This is the yellow one with Fore-edge gilt, black ribbons, Mauritian goatskin, authorized KJV. You'll see on the white one, all of the specs are the same on these Bibles. It's just going to be the ethereal pink, and it's the edge-lined edition. I'll show you the differences between those two in a second. But just to see the box, really nice two-piece box. The Bible comes wrapped up in this black paper. Here's a card from them, Humble Lamb. On the back of it, it kind of tells you a note from the publisher. Really love that. On the inside of the box, see on this side of it, you get a nice little quote in there. Greatest treasure given to man. And then on the back, their logo. Really nice, clean design. I really love they have such a nice design aesthetic at Humble Lamb. Their Bibles and their products, everything looks really nice. So here's the two Bibles, yellow on the left, ethereal pink on the right. You'll notice right here, if you can tell on the screen, the pink one looks a little bit bigger. That's just because it has a little bit of an extra yap. That's one of the differences I've noted, is that the edge-lined editions have a little bit more yap to them. You're also going to see on the spine that this one has raised spine hubs, whereas this one has tooled ribs on the spine. They both have perimeter stitching. They both have 3 ribbons in there. Here's the inside of it, so you see paste down edition. So the liner, the Bible is pasted into the actual goatskin cover, whereas this one, it's got an edge line. That's what that tab is. So the tabs go in right there. It makes the Bible a little bit softer and floppier overall. Just a different way to construct it, a little bit more expensive, a little bit more time consuming. I believe the edge-lined Bibles on their website are about $100 more than the paste-down editions. And for my money, I think the paste-down editions feel really great and nice and high quality. They have a nice level of flop to them, but it is more expensive to build it this way. And a couple of other things, like I said, spine hubs, different spine. This one you notice is clean and black on the inside, whereas the edge-lined editions have a gold gilt line. They have the name of the Bible on the inside imprinted in gold, as well as their logo. They have Mauritian goatskin stamped in there. So it's got a gilt line, things like that, a few different extra things. Obviously, I got 2 editions that have gold art gilding and then the lion Fore-edge design. When you open it, you really see it. So when the pages are open, you see it on the pages. When you close it, depending on what angle you hit it at, so there's one where you can barely see it, but then if you move it slightly, you start to see it, which I think is really cool. On the edge, on the top and the bottom, nothing. But the gilding looks really great. It's the exact same thing
on the paste down edition, that gold with the lion. Now, if you don't like the look of this, if this is too much for you, which I totally get that, it might be too much for some people, they make editions of these Bibles that are just regular traditional gilding without the Fore-edge design, so it doesn't have the lion in there. So if that's not your thing, you can get it. So this one is a little bit firmer on the goat skin because it has that paste down lining, whereas this one you can see is just super, super soft and floppy, but really nice texture. See that? There you go. See that texture in there? Perimeter stitch. Here's the spine of this one. So tooled ribs. It says the Word of God, authorized KJV, then the Mauritian goat skin, and the humble lamb. Looks really, really nice. This one you can, this was, in the camera, this looks lighter than it is in person. It's got a little bit more color to it. It's not quite as light pink. It's got a little bit more full-bodied color to it, but it's pretty close. It also has the perimeter stitch and that nice texture in there. On the spine of this one, you get the raised spine hub, super clean. It just says the Word of God right there, and it goes horizontal as opposed to kind of the vertical setting of the other one. So that's another one of the big differences. Again, personal preference, but all of the edge-lined ones come like this on the top, whereas all of the paste-down ones come like that yellow one on the bottom. So as far as size goes, they both, even though this one has a little bit of extra yap on it, they're the same text block on the inside. So it's 6 inches wide, it's 9 inches tall, and with the covers, they're about 1 3/4, a little less than 1 3/4 inches thick. So again, the text blocks are the same. It's really just the aesthetic touches and the binding, and that's what's going to be the biggest difference between the two different options that you have. But they're both going to have 3 ribbons. They're both made with goat skin. It's just some slight differences. So I'm going to set this one aside. I'm going to pull the pink one over and kind of show it to you, opening this up. Get in here, nice thick cardstock in there. You do get a really nice lion presentation page. I like some of these that are blank because then you can put the information that you want in there. There you see it says the Word of God, authorized King James Version. You get a couple of title pages like that. Little thank you note from them. Super simple copyright page. They first brought this out in 2019, you see. These are the, if you're watching this video down the road, these are the editions that came out in the fall of 2022. So here's your table of contents, Old Testament and New Testament. Information at the bottom about the other articles about this Bible. So it tells you about the Gustave Doré illustrations that are in it. I'll show you in a minute. It tells you about the KJV Lion edition. So it kind of gives you information about what's in this Bible. Then you get the epistle dedicatory and the KJV translators to the reader. This is the classic stuff that was included in the 1611 King James Bible, the front matter. So you get all of that kind of in a similar typesetting as the rest of the Bible, the 11-point Milo typeface. Here's a really great page here called How to Use the KJV Lion. It gives you like a setup of the page where it tells you about the headers, the page numbers, how the paragraph markers are used in there, the different chapter headings, how to use the word definitions. I'm going to show you more about that in a moment, and the cross-references, things like that, just to kind of give you everything that you need in the Bible as well as the drop caps. So it kind of tells you how to use it and what you should expect. Then we get in here, it says Old Testament. First page of Genesis. You see Genesis, I get this little press. It's going to want to almost stay open, but I think once you use this Bible a little bit more, it'll be nice. It has blue accents on the page for the drop caps, for the chapter headings, as well as in the paragraph markers. You see those blue paragraph markers in there. In a verse-by-verse Bible, these pilcrows, that's what those are called, helps you kind of know when a new paragraph is beginning because every verse-by-verse Bible kind of has its own paragraph marker. Down here at the bottom, the blue line separating everything, really, really nice and clean. And then it gives you the cross-references, and then they talk about archaic words defined. And so there's the little 6, 7, 8, 14, 15, 17. If we go to 6, firmament, right? They're giving you a little note here where it says firmament, that they're going to give you a definition. So a word that you may not be familiar with, they give you definitions. The region of the air, the sky or heavens, the sphere of the stars. Really nice that they've included that in there. There's that little lion peeking at you a little bit. And this is how the Bible looks. 2 columns. All of your material is at the bottom beneath that thin line. Again, small drop caps, super clean. This is an 11-point Milo typeface on 36 GSM Bible paper. Looks really great. It's European paper. And then you are going to get, I'll bring this up and let you see that, you are going to get these Gustave Doré illustrations in here. So here's one, Adam and Eve driven out of Eden. really good. This looks nice on the page. It's hard to get these black and white illustrations right. So if I go to the page before this, you see you can see the box of that picture back there, but it's not super distracting on these words. You can really read these words well. And then on the page itself, there's not a lot of bleed through coming through that picture. And there's actually a lot of definition in there. That looks really, really nice and just kind of adds a nice little touch to these Bibles. So get into some more poetic places. There you see the Psalms, same exact typesetting. It doesn't change. Verse by verse, paragraphs in those individual verses. Looks really nice. There you can see when you kind of have the Bible open that those lions are kind of, the lion is kind of poking at you from both sides. This looks really, really great. It's an 11-point typeface. Like I said, it's the Milo typeface. Bring this up and let you just kind of see it. Very easy to read, spaced well on the page, nice opaque 36 GSM paper. This looks really, really great. As far as those illustrations go, by the way, there's 66 of them in this Bible, so they're not all throughout it on every other page. They're used sparingly, which I like. So, and then when we get to the New Testament, everything kind of remains the same, but then there we go. You get to see it's a blue letter Bible. Something really unique about these Bibles from Humble Lamb. There you see it, the blue for the words of Christ. Doesn't pop off the page perhaps as much as a red letter Bible, which for me is a good thing, but just a nice subtle way to kind of, I've had people ask me, are there things other than red letter Bibles out there, other colors? These are some options that you have here from Humble Lamb. Looks really nice, but everything else remains really consistent as far as the typesetting, the look and the feel. It goes straight through. So at the end of this Bible, there's another one, Babylon Fallen. At the end of the Bible, Revelation. I often like to tell what page it ends on. So the Last Judgment is going to be the last image we get. Oh, sorry, no, it's the New Jerusalem, naturally. And then Revelation 22 ends on page 1675. You go straight into the Authorized King James Concordance, 3 columns, significantly smaller typeface, but if you want to bring that up and find what you're looking for, you'll be able to do that. It's got those blue accents as well in there. And then you do get some Bible maps here after the concordance, which look pretty good. It's like a slightly thicker, slightly glossy, not super glossy, but a glossier cardstock for these Bible maps. And there's a bunch of them back here. It's 14 pages of full color maps. So, looks really good, right? A few pages of cardstock at the end, thick end sheets. There you have that. That's the yellow edition. Real quick, if you want to see, this is the blue edition of the Shepherd. So there's the Shepherd, the NKJV Shepherd. It's a single column Bible with a smaller typeface. I really love the 11-point typeface. I believe this was a 9-point typeface they had in there. You can see it pops off the page. I love the single column design. Uses kind of those same features. Getting into the New Testament here. Looks really, really good. Also has the blue letters. So a couple different options that they make at Humble Lamb, but this new KJV Lion is really beautiful. Lots of cool options for you.
So there you have it, the KJV Lion from Humble Lamb. 2 beautiful Bibles, right? You got the pink one. This is the edge-lined edition. Really, really soft and floppy, but very nice. And also quite soft and floppy, the paste-off edition. I love this bold yellow color. These are really, again, well crafted. When the first Bibles that I saw, I'll put a link in the description to my review of the NKJV Shepherd, another one of the Humble Lamb Bibles. That was the first time I'd ever seen those Bibles when I unboxed those about a year ago, and I was blown away by the quality of them. Again, this is a small company, but what they're doing and the level of craftsmanship and quality that they're putting into these Bibles is really, really impressive. So I would love to know what you think about these, whether you already have a KJV Lion or whether you've got some feedback based on what you saw in this video. Drop that in the comments. I will get back to you with a response. I would love to chat with you about this Bible. If you have questions, drop those in the comments as well, and I will get back to you with an answer. Again, I'm trying to help you find a Bible that's right for you. I took some great photos of these Bibles. I'm going to be posting those on Instagram and Facebook. Find Bible Review Blog on those social media platforms and join us there. We're having a bunch of fun, particularly on Instagram with Reels and some comedy bits we're doing. It's a lot of fun over there. So find us on social media. And as always, if you wouldn't mind, hit that like button for me. That tells the YouTube algorithm that more people should watch this video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, this is what we do here. We unbox Bibles, we review Bibles. I try to help people find a Bible that's right for them. So if you'd like to subscribe and see more content, click that. You can also click the join button if you want to become a channel member, support the channel, get some special perks along the way. If you click that join button, you can find out all about it. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.